My girlfriend cheated on me with my cousin. Fistfights, screaming matches, and in the end, I made them regret everything at a family reunion they'll never forget. I never thought I'd be that guy. The one who tells a story on Reddit, hoping complete strangers will help him make sense of the mess that used to be his life. But here I am, typing like my fingers are on fire because what happened to me, it wasn't just betrayal. It was war. My name's Evan. I'm 29. Pretty average guy. Grew up in a small Midwest town, the kind where everyone knows your business before you do. I used to believe in loyalty, in family, in love. Now, I believe in watching your damn back because the people closest to you can cut the deepest. Let me take you back a bit. I met Leah 3 years ago at my cousin Jason's birthday party. Jason and I were always close. He's 6 months older than me. More outgoing, kind of cocky in that way, so people find charming. We grew up more like brothers than cousins, went camping every summer with our uncles, played football on the same high school team. So yeah, I trusted him, like blood. Anyway, Leah was there with a mutual friend. She had this sharp laugh, like she didn't care what people thought, and she saw through bull instantly. I was hooked. We started talking that night, and didn't stop for the next 3 years. She wasn't perfect. Hell, I'm not either. But we worked, or so I thought. Fast forward to last fall. I just gotten promoted at work, operations manager at a logistics company, not flashy, but solid. Leah had moved in with me a year earlier. We were talking marriage. I'd even shown her a ring I was thinking of. She cried, hugged me for so long, I thought we'd fuse together. But then shit started feeling off. It began small. Her phone always flipped face down. She'd take long walks to clear her head. She started saying she was going out with Jess, her co-worker, but never came back smelling like her usual perfume. More like cheap cologne and guilt. I tried to ignore it first. You never want to believe the person you love is lying to your face. You make excuses. Maybe she's just stressed. Maybe I'm paranoid. Then came the night that broke me. She told me she was going to girls' night with Jess. I didn't say a word, just nodded. And then I followed her. Yeah, I know how that sounds. But when every gut instinct is screaming, sometimes you listen. She didn't go to Jess's place. She drove 20 minutes out of town to Jason's apartment. My cousin, my blood. I parked across the street, hands shaking on the steering wheel. Watched as she let herself in without knocking, like she'd done it 100 times. I stayed there for almost 2 hours, every bone in my body screaming to kick down the door. But I didn't. I went home, sat in the dark, drank myself stupid. Then I got up and I planned. See, if I confronted them then, it would have been a fight, sure, maybe some shouting, a couple broken lamps. But I wanted more. I didn't want a scene. I wanted a reckoning. Because Jason was Mom's golden child, the successful one, the charming one. And Leah was the woman I was going to propose to. They didn't just betray me. They stomped on everything I believed in. So I waited, collected proof, screenshots, messages she forgot to delete. I even borrowed a spare key to Jason's place from our mutual friend, claimed I needed to surprise him for his birthday. Installed a hidden camera. The things I saw, I'll spare you the details, but trust me, it burned. And I waited for the perfect day, the family reunion. Every year, our extended family meets at our grandparents' cabin up north. Food, drinks, campfire stories. This time, I told everyone I was bringing Leah to make a special announcement. She was glowing that morning. Thought I was finally going to propose. Jason was there too, grinning like the snake he is. Maybe he thought I was too dumb to know. Maybe he just didn't care. He was about to learn what real humiliation feels like. The drive to the reunion was quiet. Leah sat beside me humming along to the radio, smiling at her reflection in the side mirror, fixing her lipstick like she was prepping for a photo shoot. Every now and then she glanced at me with that soft, I can't believe I'm this lucky look she had perfected. If only she knew. My palms were sweating on the wheel. I wasn't nervous. I was alive. More alive than I'd felt in months. The closer we got to that cabin in the woods, the more electricity buzzed through my chest. This was going to be the performance of a lifetime. We pulled in around noon. Family cars packed the gravel lot. Laughter echoed through the trees. The smell of charcoal and burgers floated through the air. It should have been a happy day. I opened her door like a gentleman. She took my hand. I kissed her cheek. Performance. Jason spotted us right away. He was standing near the grill with my older brother and uncle, beer in hand, sunglasses on, t-shirt too tight. He waved like this was just another Saturday. He didn't know that in the trunk of my car sat a Bluetooth speaker and a flash drive packed with video files I'd organized by date, time, and location. 10 clips total. Nothing graphic. I'm not a monster, but enough to tell the whole story with undeniable clarity. Leah was laughing with my aunt when I found Jason alone by the woodshed, pretending to check something on his phone. "Hey," I said, voice calm as ice. "Yo, what's up, man?" he replied, giving me that trademark smirk. I stepped closer. "We need to talk. Privately." He glanced at me, something flickering in his eyes. Guilt? Fear? Or just arrogance? "You good?" he asked. "I'm great," I said, patting him on the shoulder. "But you? You're going to want to sit down for this." We went behind the shed. I handed him my phone, pulled up one of the videos. Just a few seconds of Leah walking into his apartment, tossing her coat on his couch, leaning in to kiss him. Jason froze. His lips parted, but no sound came out. "Keep watching," I said. He didn't need to. The damage was done. His face drained of color. He backed away half a step like I was radioactive. "Evan, listen, man. You think I don't know how long this has been going on? I've got 6 months of footage, Jay. I've got screenshots of your texts. I've got timestamps, receipts, the whole goddamn paper trail." He opened his mouth again, probably to deny it, maybe to apologize. I didn't care. "I'm not going to hit you," I said. "Not yet. You're going to stand next to me today. You're going to smile. And you're going to watch everything burn down." "What are you talking about?" I leaned in so close, he could smell the rage on my breath. "You'll find out at dinner." Then I walked away. At sunset, we all gathered by the fire pit. Long wooden tables under string lights. Plates loaded with grilled chicken, corn on the cob, potato salad. My grandmother said grace. My uncle cracked a beer. Everything was perfect. And then I stood up. "Everyone," I said, raising my glass, "thank you for being here. I have something special I want to share tonight. A celebration of love, loyalty, and the bonds that make us family." Leah squeezed my hand, eyes misty. Jason shifted in his seat, looking like he was about to throw up. "I've prepared a short video," I continued. "A tribute to what love really looks like when it's not built on lies." I pressed play. The speaker in my pocket was synced to the Bluetooth receiver I had hidden under the table earlier. The video played on the big flat screen we always set up for family slideshows. Only this time, it wasn't baby photos or camping memories. It was Leah, at Jason's door, in Jason's arms, again and again, clip after clip, a slow montage of betrayal, gasps, utter silence, then chaos. My aunt stood up shouting. My mom screamed. Leah's fork clattered on her plate. Jason stood like a man about to be executed. Leah looked at me, horror on her face. "Evan, what is this?" I looked her in the eye. Calm. Cold. This is the truth." She tried to grab my arm. I pulled away. "You lied to me," I said. "Both of you. For months. And you thought I wouldn't find out? That I'd just marry you." Jason stepped forward. It didn't mean anything. That's when my brother, bless him, decked him. Full punch across the face. Jason went down hard, the picnic table shaking. People were screaming now. Chairs toppled. My uncle held my grandmother back while she cried. Leah tried to explain, tried to say it was a mistake, that she still loved me. I stared her down. "You never loved me. You loved what I gave you. A home, a future, protection. But you spat on it. So I'm returning the favor." I turned and walked away as Jason groaned on the ground, blood leaking from his nose. Leah chased after me, sobbing. But I didn't stop. She made her bed, let her rot in it. I didn't look back until I got into the car. And even then, it wasn't because of her. I wanted to remember it. The screams, the faces, the tears, the way the truth exploded in the heart of the family like a bomb. The way they all realized who was really sitting at that table all those years ago. I did not go home. I drove an hour deep into the woods and stopped at the old parking lot where Jason and I used to build campfires as kids. I sat on the hood with a beer, looked up at the stars, and tried to figure out what was next. Because revenge is not the end. It's a door. It opens, and there's nothing behind it. The next day, my phone exploded. 15 missed calls from Leah, 5 voicemails, 3 texts from Jason, a dozen from family. My mom was crying the messages. I can't believe this is true. How did you stand it? My brother, I'm proud of you. He deserved it. Jason's aunt, you've put our family to shame. Grandfather, he did the right thing. I always knew there was something wrong with that Jason. And Leah, she tried to play all the roles. Victim, you don't understand, I was lonely. The lover, I still love you. Give us a chance. Manipulative, you ruined my life. I got fired from my job. I didn't respond, not even once. And you know what? It was the sweetest silence of my life. A week later, I was called to a family meeting. I knew it would be an attempt to sweep everything under the rug. Let's forgive. We're a family. Everyone makes mistakes. We shouldn't take the garbage out of the house. But I had no intention of backing down. I showed up, in a suit, confident, quiet. Jason sat there like a beaten dog. Leah hadn't come. She must have been smart enough. Evan, we're all just shocked, my aunt began. Okay, I said, so let's set the record straight. And I laid it all out. Calm, coldly, without emotion. About the lies. About the video. About the camera. About their betrayal. About how Jason had borrowed money from me, knowing I was spending it on Leah while he slept with her. Some of them started to cry. Others sat silently, red with shame. And then I said, I am no longer part of this farce. You are not my family. I'm leaving it all behind. I moved 2 weeks later. New city, new place to live, new job, with the same company, but a branch in another state. And here's the best part. I started living. Without lies. No drama. Without constant doubts. Where she is, who she is with, whether she is telling the truth. But you know what hurt the most? Not the fact that she cheated. Not that Jason betrayed me. It was that I trusted. That I had been blind and honest and sincere, and it wasn't enough. Translated with deepl.com, free version. I wish I could say that walking away was the end of it. That I cut them out, started a new life, and never heard from anyone again. But people like Jason and Leah, they don't let go when they lose control. Especially when you took something from them. Their image, their power, their ego. A month after I moved, Leah emailed me. Subject, please just read this. I almost deleted it. But curiosity is a cruel master. The email was long. Some kind of twisted confession meets apology meets blame game. She talked about her childhood trauma, how Jason understood her, how she never meant to hurt me, how she panicked when she realized she had real feelings for me again, and how she hated herself for ruining it all. And at the bottom, if you ever find it in your heart to forgive me, I'd love to see you again, even just to talk. I didn't reply, but that's when the idea started forming in my head. Because Jason hadn't just screwed me over emotionally. He had borrowed thousands of dollars from me over the years. Small stuff at first, need to fix my car, short on rent, lost my wallet. I never kept track. Why would I? He was family. But now that I had distance and fury, I started combing through my old messages, bank statements, even Venmo transfers. Over 3 years, I'd lent him over $9,300. And I had proof. I consulted a friend who's a lawyer, told him the story. He laughed hard and then asked if I was serious about going after Jason in small claims court. I was. See, Jason wasn't the type to worry about money. He always assumed someone would bail him out. But court? Court meant a record, a paper trail, consequences, and above all, exposure. I filed everything. Dates, amounts, texts. And then I waited. The court date landed exactly 2 months after the reunion explosion. Jason showed up in a wrinkled dress shirt, clearly rattled. He tried to act cool, tried to smirk, but his eyes were darting. He knew I had him. Leah wasn't with him. I didn't even have to say much. The texts spoke for themselves. Judge awarded me full repayment, plus fees. Jason turned to me on the way out and said, "You really had to do this in front of everyone?" I smiled. Funny. That's exactly what I thought at the reunion. But I wasn't done, because this is where things get elegant. Remember how Leah said she lost her job? She didn't. She got demoted. I still had contacts at her company, One of her coworkers was dating a guy I played poker with. Turns out, she'd been flirting with her boss for months. Nothing proven, but the rumors spread fast after the reunion video hit a few group chats. Her professional image? Smeared. She'd applied to several new jobs, all in communications and PR. So, I created a completely anonymous website. Just a simple page. Screenshots. Timeline. Redacted video snippets. No names, no faces. Just a case study in infidelity, deception, and workplace boundaries. I submitted it as an anonymous tip to 3 companies she'd applied to. 2 rejected her within a week. The third called her in for second interview. But they found the site, and they called her references, one of whom, bless her soul, was honest. Leah didn't get the job. Now before you scream, that's too far. Let me tell you something. She once laughed at my dying uncle, my mom's brother, because he always looked gross in that hospital gown. She threw away a necklace my late sister gave me, then lied about it. And she told Jason I wasn't a real man because I cried when my dog died. So no, I didn't feel bad. She broke people for sport. I just handed her the mirror. It's been almost a year since that night at the reunion. I've rebuilt, not just my life, my sense of self. I started therapy. I started boxing. I started sleeping without grinding my teeth. And I started dating again. Carefully. No more illusions. No more giving people the benefit of the doubt when they haven't earned it. But here's the kicker. At this year's family reunion, I showed up. Alone. Calm. In control. Jason wasn't there. Neither was Leah. But the whispers were. And I just smiled. Because the people who burned me, they thought they buried me. They didn't know I was a damn seed. A few weeks after the court hearing, I got a message from someone I hadn't expected. Jason's girlfriend. Well, ex-girlfriend now. Her name's Megan. We met once or twice at family things, but Jason never brought her around much. Now I knew why. He couldn't juggle Leah and Megan in the same room without dropping the lie. She sent me a short, to-the-point message on Facebook. I know what happened. I saw the video. I had no idea. I'm so sorry he did that to you, to all of us. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. I didn't respond at first. I mean, what was I supposed to say? But a few days later, she followed up with something that got my attention. I think you should know. Leah's been telling people you were abusive. She's spinning it like she was the victim. Of course she was. That was Leah's favorite trick. Rewrite the story. Make herself the heroine of her own trauma opera while casting everyone else as villains. And now, apparently, I was the controlling, possessive boyfriend who tracked her every move and made her cheat by suffocating her. That's when I called Megan. We talked for over an hour. She spilled everything. Turns out Jason had been seeing Leah while dating Megan. And before Leah, he'd cheated on at least 2 other women Megan knew about. He always acts like he's the prize, she said bitterly. Like women should be grateful to be around him. Same damn ego that made him smirk through my birthday toast 2 years ago while sleeping with my girlfriend behind my back. I asked her how she found the video. She said one of Jason's friends had shared it privately. As a joke, he said, and it made its way around a private group chat. Jason had no idea. He thought everything died down after the reunion. And that's when I knew my final move had to be public. I'm not the kind of guy who likes drama, but I do believe in justice. And poetic justice? That's my favorite kind. So I put everything together. The receipts, the screenshots, the timeline, even excerpts from Leah's manipulative emails, and I posted it. Not on Reddit. Not on Facebook. I posted it on a family blog my aunt ran. A stupid old website where people posted baby photos and reunion recipes. I titled it, A Cautionary Tale. What happens when you betray the wrong person? I used initials, not names. But everyone in the family knew who it was about. The post went viral. Well, viral within the small ecosystem of our extended relatives. Screenshots got passed around. People started messaging me now. Cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. Uncles and aunts. Even Jason's own father wrote me. I always knew he'd push it too far one day. You didn't destroy him, Evan. He did that all by himself. Leah finally blocked me on everything after that. I guess the shame got too heavy, even for her. Jason? He moved out of state. Word is he's starting fresh, somewhere no one knows him. Last I heard, he was working at some chain restaurant and living in a shared apartment. And me? I kept living. Better, stronger, clearer. No more paranoia. No more emotional knots. I'd taken back my story, the part they tried to steal from me. And the beautiful part? I never laid a hand on either of them. I didn't scream. I didn't key cars or smash windows. I let the truth do the damage. People say revenge doesn't heal you. Maybe they're right, but it sure as hell gave me closure. And in the end, I got the one thing they'll never have. Peace. It's been over a year now. Sometimes I catch myself thinking about it all. The betrayal, the setup, the explosion at the reunion, the aftermath like scattered wreckage. I used to wake up with that tight feeling in my chest, like I was still stuck in the middle of it. Still trapped in that moment when I watched Leah walk into Jason's apartment with a smile on her face like she belonged there. But now I wake up in my own apartment in a different city with the morning sun sliding through the blinds. I make my coffee, take it to the balcony, and I breathe. No anxiety. No lies humming in the air like static. Just silence and peace. I didn't seek revenge because I'm petty. I did it because I refused to let them write the ending. Because people like Leah and Jason count on silence. They count on the fact that decent people will stay quiet, will bury their pain to keep the peace. But peace built on lies is just war waiting to happen. They wanted to break me. They wanted to erase me. Instead, I made sure every person who ever heard their side of the story knew mine. Last month, I saw Leah again. Total accident. I was at a grocery store back in my old town visiting my mom for her birthday. I turned a corner in the coffee aisle and boom, there she was. Hair different. Face a little older. Eyes sharp but tired. She froze. I didn't. I just nodded once. Calm. Civil. Free. She opened her mouth to speak, but I kept walking. What was there to say? I won. Not in a petty way. Not in a scoreboard kind of way. I won because I came through it with my integrity. Because I didn't lose myself in the fire. Because I rebuilt while they collapsed under the weight of their own choices. A few weeks later, I got a handwritten letter in the mail. No return address. The handwriting was familiar. It was from Leah. She wrote 2 pages. No excuses. No manipulations this time. Just raw truth. She said she'd been in therapy. That she finally realized the depth of the damage she'd caused. That she never expected forgiveness. Just wanted to say she understood. She ended it with, "If I had known what love really was, I would have chosen differently." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Because her regret? That's hers to carry. I told this story because someone needs to hear it. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you've been lied to, gaslit, humiliated by the people you trusted most. Maybe you're sitting in the dark, wondering what went wrong and why it still hurts so much. Let me tell you, it's not your fault. They made their choices. And you get to make yours now. You don't have to rage. You don't have to scream. You just have to see clearly and act with purpose. Let the truth be your sword. Let silence be your shield. And when the time comes, let dignity be your revenge. Because in the end, the people who tried to ruin you will have to live with the fact that they couldn't. And you'll keep walking. Free.